Can't think.
Did you guys check the place out?
I looked at it online.
It's probably super expensive because
Yeah.
that place is, yeah.
It's sweet. It's nice. And I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, because the building's renting there is expensive, like, to rent a 2-bedroom unit is $3,000. Which you,
Two bedroom.
yeah, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for like all this, it's kind of like $1,300. The studio is like. Yeah,
It's a lot.
it is, but there's a lot of good business coming in there. I'm excited. We're renewing our lease for another year. Yeah, and yeah, so we have a whole bunch of business, coffee shop coming in, a nice little beer spot, a wine tapas bar.
Like in that.
Yeah,
area
and that,
there.
yeah, all like underneath in the retail, there's gonna be a barbecue place. I think there's supposed to be maybe like a supermarket, but there's a Publix next door, so I don't know if they'll do that.
That's really cool. I'm gonna ride by it.
Yeah,
And I wanna talk to those people, because they're with Kane,
yeah, yeah.
and like, they like do all kinds of stuff. So
Oh.
like, it'll be great, because I
Kane's
can
all
get
over.
a contact. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, they're all over.
So that then I can, hopefully be able to use them and say, I appreciate you giving me that.
Yeah,
And,
especially when they get a new building, and they do like promotional rates and everything. New stuff, they'll get better rates.
I was wondering about that, like over at.
How y'all doing?
James.
They must have done that.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing today?
Doing well.
Okay. So, do we have somebody? We got Susan on. Is that it? Okay. Let me go get Lawrence out of the office. So I've been, if you're not in the PC program, you're going to hear me talk about some questions, right? Asking pop quiz questions about people, right? About reading the contract. It's all about the contract, right? Has anybody put somebody in your buyer's agency yet? John, you put somebody in your buyer's agency? Sir, what's your name?
Marcus.
Marcus. How you doing, Marcus?
I'm all right. How are you?
Hey, James, can you get one of those and put your name in front? That way I know who I'm talking to. Everybody needs to do it, actually. One of those. Case, yep, case, somebody comes in, don't know who you are. John's got his. Lex. Same thing. I think she's got a marker. I might have one up here. All right.
Thank you.
So, excuse me. I'm gonna ask this question. And if you're in the PC program and I told you, do not answer. Okay? Hey, as a buyer's agent, and you go to see a house, and you want to take video because your client is from out of state. Under buyer's agency, you're out showing a house, your client's from out of state, they want you to video the house. Do you have to have permission to video inside a seller's house? Andrew, I know we haven't discussed this yet, have we?
No.
So do I have to have permission if I want to take video and pictures inside a seller's house?
I would say yes.
You said yes. Lex, have we talked about this yet, or do you know the answer?
Yeah.
You already talked, we talked about it? Yeah, okay. Jenny, have we talked about this question?
No, I was gonna say no.
You was gonna say no, you don't need permission?
I was gonna guess no.
Okay, you would guess no. Marcus, what do you think?
You under contract?
No, you're showing your buyer a home, you scheduled it, it's not your listing,
Got it.
but your buyer's from out of state, and you want to video the home and send that video to your client.
You need permission.
You need permission. What do you say, John?
I would think you do need permission.
You would think you do. What do you say?
No.
Okay, word for word in the contract. You do not need a seller's permission to video inside his house or take pictures. Now, it does say that you cannot take pictures, like you can't open his medicine cabinet up and take pictures where you're going to get his prescription. And I think it uses that as an example, right? Can I take a picture of his desk, on top of his desk where he may have mail or other things? No. But do I need permission to walk through that whole house and take a video? No, I do not. Hey, make sure y'all read. Okay? Because when you send this stuff over, right? When you submit this stuff to your client, if they ask you a question that's blatantly on the contract, you're the one going to get embarrassed because you haven't took the time to read it. Or two, you're going to give wrong information. But only one of those two things are going to happen. So take the time to read. Okay? Yesterday's training was an awesome training because not one person got the right answer. And I like that. You know why? Because I want to tell you things that can really put you in a bad situation if you don't tell the truth. Okay? So yesterday's training was what? What was the question for yesterday? Jennifer, do you remember? Huh? No. That was for today's. Yeah. What was the question though? Jenny, do you remember it?
I missed yesterday,
Okay.
but we talked about the mob.
So here's the question. If you're the listing agent, and I'm gonna use an example, Julianne is my seller. I'm the listing agent. Okay, Lex is the buying agent, and Andrew is the buyer. The buyer backs out of the contract. After due diligence day, 5 days away from closing, does the buyer forfeit the earnest money? Yes or no? Yes, all right? And Andrew signs the forfeit, he forfeits earnest money. Now, the earnest money is going to who now? Where's earnest money get to go now? To the seller. How is it given to the seller? Huh? How many of y'all knew that only half the earnest money goes to the seller? Who knew that before I told them?
I did after yesterday.
After yesterday,
Where's the other half go?
did you know that?
I haven't done anything with Ernest.
Read. It's in the contract.
Who gets the other half?
The firm.
We do.
Yes. It's in the contract.
We being the
The firm, because all contracts are written to who?
seller or buyer.
The listing agent, right?
Sellers,
The listing agent's firm
Yeah.
gets half of the earnest money.
Hmm.
Uh-oh, did we know that?
Hmm.
Why do y'all think that's important?
Because when you're talking about terms when you're listing a property, that changes things for your seller, like due diligence,
Okay.
that would all go to them, and that's what we're largely doing.
How many of y'all would have told your sellers all of it goes to them? How many of y'all gonna be upset when Jeremy contacts you and go, hey, by the way, Julianne, I know you terminated that contract. Hey, does your seller realize he owes us a check for $7,500? Because he had a $15,000 earnest money check? And you did not tell your seller that half that money goes to the firm. Because what did you provide? Or in this case, what did I provide to you as the seller? A willing and able buyer. And you signed a contract. Okay? Half that earnest money goes to the firm, not to exceed the amount of money that the firm would have received for the sale of the purchase. So if the firm had him at 6%, right? If I had Julianne at 6%, $300,000 purchase, how much money is that? Come on, it's easy math. What's 6% of 300,000? Good Lord!
18,000.
Huh?
18.
18,000. Right? It's 18,000. Okay? If the earnest money was $35,000, how much money is the firm going to keep?
Or
No,
no.
75.
75. If the earnest money was $40,000, how much does the firm keep?
18.
18. You cannot keep more than what the firm would have made off the sale of the house. It says it right in paragraph 11, right, of the listing agreement. That's why I harp on agents to read. Okay?
That listing agreement is the form, or is that?
The exclusive right to sell listing agreement. When you talk to your seller, Lex, I'm gonna sell your home, buddy. James, please sell my home. All these people skip. Oh, just initial here, and here. We don't talk about nothing. You know what's, now, how common is that right now? Probably not as common. But could it put you in a bind? Bad one.
I can see you for that.
Why are we gonna sue you?
No, like if you told them that you're gonna take the whole thing. and they'll-
Yeah, especially if you put it in writing.
Yeah.
Because that's a hard one to come out of. Okay? Right? Because the firm is expecting that money. Remember, you're just you're representing. The contract is between who? The client and the firm. Who are you to tell a client that paragraph doesn't exist? You better get approval before you say it. Okay? Now, might have to be a tough conversation between you and the team leader and the broker in charge. If you promised John back there, hey, I told him he could have all the earnest money. I did not know about paragraph 11. What do you do then?
You pay.
You could be out of pocket, and that's up to the firm wants to do, right? If the firm wants to hold you accountable, then you have to pay the difference. Okay? Because the contract is between the client and the firm, not between you and the client. Okay? So I bring these things up because these are things. Now, I want to bring something else up. And the reason I'm doing these little things, these question and answers, we're going to get to the training for the actual CMA versus the offer to purchase. But hey, we're having a big time problem with people listing homes and not reading the listing agreement to the seller and explaining to a seller what is supposed to be left is conveyed and not conveyed. Okay, it's right on the contract, right? Okay, so when the seller, you get a phone call. Here's what's happening, right? Julianne's a listing agreement or listing agent. Her house is getting ready to close tomorrow. She gets a phone call from the buyer's agent. Hey, Juliet, where's the security system? Where's the cameras? Where's the Ring doorbell? Oh, crap. The seller took it. What was expected in the contract? Because the seller, what happens if the seller, right, told Julianne, hey, that security system, I owe money on. I got to give that back to CPI. I'm not going to pay for that system. I told her that. But when the offer came in, she forgot to have them say, hey, these items don't convey. We went under contract. But Julianne, I done told you. You can fight that, hey, the client knew what they were signing. But the client told you that didn't convey. Now I'm taking it. The client, the seller took it. The buyer wants it.
Why would that be assumed, James, that the buyer would get that, since it's not a?
It says it right in the contract.
It says, what are the words? It says?
Security system, if a security system's mounted, where does it say?
List that as a fixture, like in the.
Yeah, it's a fixture. It says it right on there. Hey, if these things are, if that's bothering you, is the other one, that one too?
Oh, that's one.
Okay.
Because it's hot.
Hey, so again, please read the fixture section to the listing, to the seller. Please read it.
So I got one quick question. So
Yes, sir.
do you have to either convey or not convey every single item, and it has to be in the
Okay,
contract?
so no. If the contract spells out what is conveyed, right? If it's other than that, then you have to specifically say, hey, Julianne, before y'all write your offer, I'm just letting you know, I put it in agent remarks. Hey, seller is keeping the chandelier over the dining room table. Okay, will be replaced with, they call them boob lights. Y'all see what I'm talking about? The cheap little construction lights, right? That's what they call them, right? Will be replaced with that. Okay, you have to tell them. Because when they walk through, what are they assuming? It's fixed to the house. There's nothing you're saying it doesn't. It comes with the house. Ring doorbells, number one thing, get people in trouble. Does the Ring doorbell stay with the seller, or does it go with the house? It goes with the house. I made an agent pay for a Ring doorbell for my client. Well, James, I didn't tell the seller. I don't care. I don't care what you didn't do. There will be a Ring doorbell on the house. And he put one. He went to Best Buy, ordered it. They put it in the day we closed. Best Buy did. Okay. Hey, look, I'm telling y'all this because, hey, I will tell y'all this story. My instructor that taught me real estate, right, through the course. Great instructor, man, amazing, right? Malia Lemon from Superior. She told me everybody will make this mistake. Just hope it ain't as big as hers. The seller she had, this was back when houses weren't moving real fast, right? Her seller had these big iron gates, right? So they did a listing agreement. They didn't write on the listing agreement, but the seller then sent her an email that said, hey, we are keeping those big wrought iron gates that we had made. Okay. She never read the email. When they left and the buyers did a walkthrough, guess what was not there? These big iron gates. Because the seller told the listing agent way prior to the offer, the listing agent paid for wrought iron gates. She said it was more than my commission. Okay. Okay. I had it happen. Hey, listen, we're going to talk about MLS. I had a 30-year agent. We thought he was going to, I guess, push me around. He listed in the MLS. House is going to, new home, hardwood floors and granite countertops. Roger that. We went under contract, $150,000 house. This was back in 2018. $150,000 house, hardwood floors, granite countertops. Brand new build, just empty lot starting off. Hey, so the builder said, hey, call me. Said, James, come by and get your samples for your client. I go there. I said, these ain't hardwood floors. He said, James, I ain't putting hardwood floors in the house. Oh, somebody is. So I called the agent. I won't give you his name. I'll give you his initials, Wallace Pfeiffer, Caldwell Banker. Okay, 30-year agent. He owns Caldwell Banker in Creedmoor. He tells me, hey, James, it don't matter what the listing says. It only matters what the builder's putting in the house. I was a pretty new agent, right? A year, I've been out here a year. It's okay. Let me send an email to the real estate commission. So I sent him an email. The attorney wrote me back. Said, James, unfortunately, we can't make the builder do anything to that house. But we will hold the listing agent accountable for having hardwood floors in that house because he represented it. Okay? So now let me go back to the builder. After I said that to the builder, he goes, his comment was this. Hey, show it to him. Most people don't know the difference. That's what the builder told me. Okay? Long story short, I showed him. Long story short, I showed him the thing, and I just told him, I said, look, man, I'm in hardwood floors, but I'm working on that. Pete Myers from the Real Estate Commission sent me an email. He's the attorney. You know him?
Not yet.
Okay. He is an awesome dude. Hey, if y'all have never had to email them, they're awesome to help you. They really will help you. Send me an email. That's basically what it said. I sent it to the listing agent. His comment was this. He called me. He said, James, how about this? I'll pay for half and you pay for half. And I said, no, I'm not going to pay for your mistake. We're talking about Wallace Pfeiffer. If y'all don't know him, you will. You'll meet him. Okay. He's got an H2 Hummer that's all decked out Caldwell Banker. Okay. So long story short, Wallace put hardwood floors in. Cost him 11 grand. Okay. How he worked it out with the builder, I don't care. Okay. So he was giving my buyer a hard time at the walkthrough. The listing agent was. And I just told him, I said, talk to him like that one more time. I said, cool, what you need to worry about is you listed the house across the street the same way. Just because their agent didn't fight for them doesn't mean that the buyer can't file a complaint that he doesn't have hardwood floors. And I bet you the real estate commission will make you put them in. After that, dude has been, hey, James, what do you need? Look, fight for your clients, but know the difference. That is why on Saturday, we're going to do an inspection class. I have an inspector coming in. If you don't know the difference between a heat pump and a gas pack, a furnace, right? Forced air, right? Attic fans, you might want to go to that class. Because when you represent something in the MLS, will you be held accountable? I promise you, you will. So if you tell somebody it's a gas pack, right, and they have a heat pump, you might have a problem. If you tell somebody they're on natural gas and they're on propane, you might have a problem. Look, I know the money's easy out here and it's good and we sell all these homes and we make a lot of money, but you have an inherent responsibility and it comes from training. Get to know an inspector. If y'all don't do nothing else, get to know an inspector and go with him to a house one time. Say, man, show me everything. Here's the key. You won't remember everything, but it'll trigger something in your mind when you see something. And if I know Lex, he's an inspector, I'll be able to call him, hey, Lex, I'm gonna send you a photo. Tell me what this is. Because I ain't sure. Because I don't want to misrepresent it. We understand? Water heaters. Can a water heater be electric or gas? Okay. Can it be a tankless? We represent a tankless, and they go there and they got a 50-gallon water heater. You might have a problem. Somebody might have to put a tankless water heater in, and they're expensive, like about $3,500. Okay. It's important to know what you're doing. Okay. So with that said, now this is going to be a questions and answers thing. I just want to put some things out there that people are doing that's causing some issues. And some of y'all weren't in my class the Saturday I did. I want to tell y'all the inherent responsibility of this. You have an inherent responsibility to the communication and all of your dealings. I'm going to use an example. If you have a contract, if you have a property under contract and a buyer agent is to send you a termination and you don't see it, and your seller moves everything out of their house and rents an apartment, and 2 weeks earlier, you were given a termination, does the buyer need your listing or needs the seller to sign the termination? No, they don't. As long as they back out at that 5 o'clock time on that date. Okay? How mad do you think that seller is when 2 weeks after you tell them, oh, by the way, we're not closing? And you find out because you called the closing attorney and the closing attorney said, no, this deal ain't happening. This was canceled. How mad do you think that seller is?
Even more after moving out from an apartment.
And now they're under a lease agreement, right? They can't be broke. Okay? Who do you think's in trouble? I'm telling you, there's an inherent, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but this is your profession. Be a master of your trade. You have an inherent responsibility to them contracts. First of all, if you're not following up minimum every week on something you have under contract, you're only putting yourself in jeopardy. Okay? Because even as a listing agent, you should be calling the buyer's agent. Hey, Andrew. Hey, brother, it's Tuesday, right? Or it's Wednesday. Call you every Wednesday. Hey, what's the status of that loan? They would have at least found out 2 weeks earlier. Do we agree? Even if I missed it by a few days, I might be able to save something. At least prevent my seller from moving out. Right? See what I'm getting at? There's some inherent responsibility here. So one of the biggest questions that we've been asked is, James, man, what do we do? We're out and showing these houses and they're selling fast. I got my buyer in the house. There's 2 or 3 other people in the house. Everybody's looking at it. What do I tell them the house is worth? What do you say? What do you use? I mean, come on. Everybody out here has probably showed something or getting ready to. What are you going to tell that buyer when he sees 4 or 5 agents walking around with other people when he says, what I offered? What are you using to justify what to offer? Does anybody have any suggestion?
You should have done your analysis before.
What if you don't? You ain't going to be able to do it every time.
That's true.
Hey, by the way, we looked at this house. Hey, there's another one on the list. Hey, can we go see this one? You don't know. Hey, Lex, I love this house. What do I offer? There's 2 agents outside. What do I offer? I want to get this house. What do you tell them? Oh, look out.
He's on fire.
Hey, what do you tell them? Marcus, what are you going to tell your buyer?
Probably speak with the actual listing agent, figure out if they got any offers in hand, what the offer is, what the.
I just listed the house a day ago. We got 14 showings this weekend. What am I going to tell them? House is $300,000. Man, market don't work for nothing. Hey, and they always put them back when they don't work.
This one works good.
Hey, 1 day on market, 300 grand. You literally just showed them the house right now. What do we tell them? What do we do? What do we say? What can you do? Give me some ideas.
With my current clients, I have an idea of their budget and how high they can go. So I have that in my mind, so I'm not gonna ever recommend they
Okay.
go over that. And so I'm gonna.
So we'll give them a budget.
I will say that we know they have to sell their house and we know that they are,
Now, I don't want to get to that yet. Budget's 315. What do we say?
Cash, or is that a?
No, they gotta get a loan. They gotta get a loan. Hey, and we'll even call it conventional.
so
This one.
if you really want this house and we know that this is the top of your budget, and if we see all these people
So-
in your day on market, I'm gonna go back and run the numbers for you. And if, are you wanting to go all in?
I like the idea that Mark brought up of going and talking to the listening and just being like, just see
I got 14 days on market.
if you can get them to tell you
I got 14 days on market. I mean, I got 14 showings between now and Saturday.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
right.
hearing lately.
Hold on.
Is they're even writing like, please don't call me and ask if there's offers on the table. It's a very competitive market. So
Hey, but there is a question you can ask a listing agent that will help your offer. What is that question? And I said this question in the class. Come on. I'm gonna call the listing agent. Marcus, you're the listing agent. Do you have a relationship with the seller? Do you know why the seller wants to sell? Yes.
What's important to your seller?
What's the most important thing to your seller? Is it time? Do they need more time in the house before they close? Give them some things to think about, right? Is it the type of loan? What's the most important thing to your seller? Because what if Marcus told me they need 30 days after closing because they're trying to purchase this house and it's going to be a little bit later. Right? Is there anything wrong with him telling me that? Nothing at all. He's not, all of them are going to say this, oh, the highest dollar amount. They're all going to say that. But ask about the other things. What's most important? Hey, do your clients need more time in the house or anything? What if he says, hey, they want the fastest close? Okay, so I know that we need the fastest close. So that's not a bad idea, but what question do you ask to help you? Okay, that's what you want to know. So you can't help yourself by asking the right question. But what am I going to use to tell my client what to offer here? I need an offer price, I need a DD amount, I need an earnest money. Okay?
I ask for due diligence, what they're comfortable with.
Okay?
And I would stress again, what due diligence.
But
is,
let's
what-
go to one first. Let's talk about the offer.
Well, if they said they really want it, and I mean, in this market, I'm probably.
Love
saying,
it.
Are you willing to go, all in? Are you willing to put?
Okay, what is all in?
Well, we said their budget's 315.
Okay, so you're saying to just offer the highest amount of their budget?
Well, I would say, let me do the constant, see if it would support that. But I mean,
Okay.
if you say there's that many people looking, it's first day of market, and they don't want to wait it out.
Since you
that's
said
not
that,
a-
now the budget's 415.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out what's all in.
Well, we know that 5% over is the average in our market. So
Oh, it
we're
is?
gonna look at what that.
Where'd you get that data?
We've known that for a while. Jeremy puts it out every month.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Who ever seen 5% above?
You even told me that.
No.
yesterday. Yes,
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, Jeremy.
Don't they typically do 1% of the listing with the sales price for due diligence or
1 to 3 was traditional, but people are going so high with it now. So
Okay.
much over that.
But listen, where are you getting your data from?
Well, I believe we can go on Paragon and look too at the average list to sale price, and it's
Absolutely.
105% in Wake County.
But the average also, we need to keep in mind, this situation might be an outlier. You know,
But just starting there with that information, I always try to give them information because I don't want to make the decision.
I want you to give them information,
Yeah.
but I want you to give them the right information.
Are you saying that's not right?
I'm saying you're wrong.
5%?
Yeah. Dang, I forgot my password. Let's try this one.
Maybe you were saying 5% in a certain place and not.
Okay. So let me go here and share my screen with other people. Hold on. Shoot. Share screen.
Remember the fast facts in Paragon, right?
All right.
Fast facts.
Y'all see where I went? All right, hold on. We'll back up. Make sure y'all see. You should discuss this with your clients before you even start looking. Okay? Go to resources. Click on fast stats. Hey, somebody give me a location this house is in. I don't even care where. Dang, it's put coffee on me.
Can we just look for that China?
No,
though,
listen,
or
no,
when you say
no,
5%
no,
not
no,
right?
because it limits it down.
It's in Wake County.
Okay? But where in Wake County? Because we can get more limited.
Yeah, she said Raleigh.
You want to do, in fact, let's pick it. Huh? Cary. I like it. I like that. It's in Cary. Cary's a hot zip code too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, right? Look what I can do. Cary. I just want most recent facts. View report. So what is the average list amount versus sale price? How much above for Carrie? I don't know how to make it zoom. What is it?
He didn't say the average.
What's year to date?
Year to date, 4 plus 5% it says, James.
Okay, watch. But you said the whole area. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Here's what I'm telling y'all, right? It's not.
Okay, what is it for Wake County?
Where are we, where?
Well, I'm
I
looking
still
at
can't
five
see
So
that.
what, so look here, percentage of original list price received, right? So you come over here, for the month of October, it's 105, right? For the year to date, it's 104.5. But hold on. Let's go back. Let's see. Get rid of this one. No, we'll leave Carrie up. Let's go here.
This is good info.
Let's go to,
Wake County is at the bottom, James. I want to see that number,
okay,
see how wrong I am.
most recent, you report. What is Wake County?
3.9%.
3.9%. Okay. So again, right? Could I share with them this ahead of time? Now, are you giving them a number? No, you're just saying the average listings, this is what they're making. So is it 3.9% above the list price? So if list price is if list price was 300, what is that number? I can't do that one. That's not a simple. Come on, give me that number.
11,700.
So that's 3.9%?
3.9%
Is what?
11,700.
So by average, by this stat, if
We're in
it's Wake,
Cary,
if it's,
yeah.
no, I know, but we just do
Okay.
Wake, if it's Wake County, this is what they should offer, right? Now Cary was what?
5.
Was it 5 even? I got it up. 5%. Is there a dry erase smart right now? So what is it?
15,000.
15,000. But am I giving them this number? Am I telling them, hey, you need to offer 15,000 bucks? What am I saying?
Giving them information.
I'm telling them, hey, look, based on these stats, can I share these stats with them? Can I print this and share it with them? Yes. Right? So now they know that the average is 15,000. Okay? What do we want to make this offer price? So they listen to you. Hey, so you're saying average. But maybe they say, you know what, but I really want it. Okay? What do you say if they want to go above that? Should you tell them anyway, no matter what? What happens to the house don't appraise? What questions should I ask? Do you have the ability to pay the difference if the house does not appraise for your offer price and the seller will not go down? Do you have that ability? What if they say, James, I can offer $20,000 above our current list price if we list at 318, or if we offer at 318. I can pay a $20,000 debt. Okay. You need to ask a little bit further questions, right? Can you pay the gap and can you still pay, right, for your closing costs and other items? I got that covered, James. Okay. Ask these questions. Okay. But now what do we do here? What do we give them advice on due diligence?
So you can give them information again. You can say, historically, 1 to 3% has been due diligence. We're seeing in this market much higher amounts. But here's what you need to know about due diligence.
First of all, I need somebody other than Julianne to answer all the questions, but somebody give me a definition of due diligence money. In fact, Lex, I'm gonna pick on some of these new agents because I just wanted to learn this. Give me a definition of what is due diligence? Explain it to me on your buyer.
Alright, so due diligence money is basically money you're giving to the listing agent to inspect the property.
Listen agent,
Oh, sorry, not listing agent, no.
okay? Okay,
that you give them to the other firm.
the other firm.
Oh, the
All right,
seller.
let's try again. Jennifer, tell me what is due diligence? I don't know.
Due diligence is money you're gonna give to the seller to take the property off the market.
You're gonna give to the seller to take the property off the market, finish it, or somebody help her.
While we look at it and.
For a set amount of time, defined amount of time, for me to do what? Completion of all inspections, hey, get the lender on his ball right, get the appraisal back, right? Who said non-refundable? Non-refundable, right? So if you back out, James, for any reason at all, it's gone.
No, there's exceptions.
There is. Okay, let me hear it.
Like if you looking the house at 5-bedroom and then you start doing the process inspection and stuff and it's only a 4-bedroom house, then this misrepresentation from other side and you can.
Maybe.
So it's all right.
But who's gonna fight to get that to me?
User.
What if the seller said, no, I think that's a bedroom? I mean, listing agent could be wrong. I could fight that, right?
If it's on the permits, the septic is only 4 now.
How am I gonna get that money back? You gave your money to Jennifer. Jennifer done spent your $15,000. Court, gotta go to court, right? That's the only way you're gonna get it back. Civil claims court. How long can that go? And what could it cost? Right? You gotta figure out what's worth it, right? Okay? Generally, almost in all cases, if the buyer backs out, unless what? It was a breach of contract from the seller. You gotta prove breach. Okay? The buyer ain't getting that DD money back. It's gone. Okay? So we know what it is now. Non-refundable amount of money given to the seller to take the house off the market. Now, when we say take the house off the market, be careful. He can't accept other offers, but he cannot put another offer in front of you. Can he accept another offer higher than yours? Of course.
Yes, it's a backup.
Okay? It's backup offer. You got to be careful of that one too, though, because if you set the one higher than you, don't be sending no DD request, right? Hey, don't ask for nothing fixed, because that dude's going to tell you to take a hike. Because he's already got a backup offer that's higher than yours. So you don't want to ask for nothing fixed. Okay? Now, you'll never know that, but listing agents, most of them will tell you, hey, I got a backup offer. Right?
So
What are they doing now?
advice to your client would be just skip over the DD.
Don't offer it.
Don't offer it, make it more competitive.
That don't make it more competitive.
Would it not?
That makes it way less competitive.
No due diligence part?
Oh, yeah.
Because it gets.
So what incentive does the seller have? Because if you back out, let's say I get 15 days of due diligence, but no due diligence money. Right? I got 15 days. I got that house off the market. I can back out at no cost.
I think what you're saying is if you don't have a due diligence period, like you're
Right,
saying, we give you the money to skip all the inspections. Like,
Okay.
skip the period.
Who's taking the risk there?
You really want the house.
Again, right? We gotta talk to our clients, right? But hey, what number do we give them? How much should they pay? Right? How should we word it to them?
Where they feel comfortable going in at.
Thank you. How much do you feel comfortable at potentially walking away from? Right? How much money do you feel comfortable? Because what happens if you do an inspection on this house and find a major problem? Does the seller have to fix it? No. Okay, he can tell you to take a hike. Now, a good agent's gonna be like, okay, better make damn sure that you list that on your North Carolina property disclosure for the next buyer, right? Good luck on that one. Okay, but the seller never has to fix anything. Do we agree? Never. Okay, but I love the wording. Hey, the amount of money that you are comfortable with losing, but being competitive enough to get the seller to select your offer. You're fine with saying, hey, what we're seeing out here traditionally is this number to this number. Just don't tell them you got to give a number. You got to give 15,000.
Unless your buyers like mine aren't comfortable with anything, and then you have to really have a.
Then just give her the information. Get like you would a listing, right? Do I tell a seller exactly how much he needs to sell his house for? No, I give him a range, right? And I promise you, look at my last closing. They don't always listen. I told him 370 to 395. He said, James, you're not gonna like this. I said, what? I want to list at 4999. You want to what? I want to list at 499. What? I didn't quite hear you there. Right?
Are you gonna tell us how that went? That's interesting.
We closed. We just closed this week.
At his price?
No, he got exactly what I said he was going to get. We lowered it from 499 to 410 to 395 with 10,000 in allowances. And then he put a brand new roof on it for him for 11,250. And then he paid for a $600 well repair. He lived in the house from 2008 today till he just sold it. He did absolutely no work to it, right? It still had the same carpet, just to give you an idea. Okay. So you're going to have sellers that will not listen to you. But guess what he got? He got exactly the number I said he was going to get. I can't help it. And it's funny because you let them live. Hey, don't push them. Let them understand failure. You're going to have the same thing with buyers. Hey, Julian, I don't want that. Hey, can I just offer 300? Can they? Yes. Don't tell them they can't. Okay. You can say, I don't know how competitive that may be, but yes, you can. Hey, when they fail enough, you know what they're finally going to do? All right, Julian, we love this one. What do we got to do to get it? Just tell me. I'll do whatever you say. Right? Because they learned that their method ain't working. Okay. I've had the same problem. So this is a number that they feel more comfortable with potentially losing, correct? How much is it? How much is this buyer going to agree to? Somebody give me a number. 5,000. 5,000. I like 5,000. Okay. Please do not think that's not competitive. It is. What about earnest money?
10,000.
10,000. Why 10,000? First, let's go back to this real quickly for left something out. How much time do I need in due diligence?
14 days.
14 days. Okay. Somebody got another number?
14 to 21.
1421. Why do you say that?
It's everything's back.
What are you factoring in?
Time to do inspection and
What's the number one thing holding people back though? It's not an inspection.
appraisal.
Appraisal. Where can we help ourselves with that time frame? What question and who do we go to? Lender. So should you be talking to their lender?
Yes.
Yes. Ask that lender, how long will it take you to do an appraisal? Look, there's some banks out here lending, I can call them lenders, not banks, lenders that pay the bare minimum for appraisals. They won't even, I'm telling you all now, it's crooked. Because they don't even pay the appraiser how much he's charging the damn buyer to pay for the appraisal. How crooked is that? I'm going to charge Lex $450 for an appraisal on the CD. The appraiser only got paid $300. How is that? It's like, hey, y'all ever had your car worked on? They went to AutoZone and bought the part for $100 and they charged you $120. How is that? You paid $100. The banks are doing the same thing. So if you're in one of them banks that's paying the least amount of money, appraisers, hey, you just ask them. Oh, we're having a hard time getting appraisals back. That tells you everything you need to know. They're not paying the money for them. Some lenders out there will pay the money. Do y'all know how the appraisal works? Anybody know how it works? When the lender requests an appraisal, what happens? My lender talked about this. Goes into a database pool, and a select amount of appraisers that work that area, they can pull them out. Guess what they see? How much they're getting paid. I swear to God, they see it. So if this side of the room were appraisers, and this side of the room were lenders, hey, Lex is cheap, right? He don't want to pay nothing. Jenny's cheap, but Lawrence over there, they pay $500 to $700 for appraisals. Are y'all looking for Lawrence's lender?
No doubt.
You are. It happens, guys. It happens. What question do I need to ask the lender? One, how long is it taking you to get appraisals back? What else? Can you pay for a rush appraisal? And what expense is that onto my buyer? You need to know that question. Okay, before we get to this. Because let's just say, hey, Lex is my lender. Hey, Lex needs at least 14 days for the appraisal. Bare minimum. When does the appraisal get ordered? You may know. When does it get ordered? There is a specific time that it gets ordered. When do y'all think it is? Come on, I talked about this. Nope, and nothing to do with that contract,
Application.
and nothing to do with that application.
When does the
Appraisal get ordered from the lender. When does the lender order that appraisal?
As soon as, when my last case, it was as soon as we gave them the contract and they could then go and order it.
Mhm. If that lender did it,
It was
he's
a
one of,
rush.
he's one of 1,000.
Yeah, it was a rush and we had a lot of
He
conversation.
was one of 1,000 lenders that will ever do it.
Okay.
Lenders will not
We
order
already
the
have-
appraisal. Lenders will not order the appraisal
Is that even there, explain?
until the buyer pays for the appraisal. It is paid before closing. I'm telling you, in almost every lending situation, the appraisal is paid before closing. You better be asking your lender, hey, do they need to pay for the appraisal before you order it? Maybe 95% will make them pay before and 5% will let it not go. Now, in some cases, they may have their process where VA loans or FHA loans will be into the CD and it'll come from there. Like it's paid for by the lender up front and then they take it back at the closing. But you need to know that, don't you? Because if we go under contract and I send them the contract and she's my buyer and she doesn't reach out to the lender to pay for the appraisal for 4 days of my 14 days,
The lender doesn't reach out to the client and say,
No.
here's your,
no,
Yes.
most of them do not.
okay. So just instruct your client to be proactive
Hey,
in reaching out. and saying,
I'm telling y'all now, the day they sign this, I tell my clients, hey, tomorrow morning, I need you to call your lender tomorrow morning, first thing, as soon as you get up. And tell your lender, I need to pay for the appraisal right now. Because if it happens 2 or 3 days later, did we lose 2 or 3 days? Yes, I promise you, please. If I wrote the offer on a Thursday, my client don't call that lender on Friday. And it calls them on Monday. Now I paid for it. Now it takes them a day to put it in the system. Look how many days I've lost. I'm telling you this because it matters. Okay? So we agreed that we need 14 days. I love your idea, 14 to 21. How do we write it on the offer? Because remember, it's probably going to be competitive offers. So if I write a date in there and they submit the offer, but I don't get the offer back signed for 4 days because they're looking at competitive offers, and I wrote 14 days, did I just lose 14 days or 4 days? How can I write it in there?
From effective date.
Say it again.
From effective date.
14 days from offer to purchase effective date. That's what I'm saying. 14 days from offer to purchase effective date. So what date is that? So I submit the offer on Thursday. I get it back on Monday, signed by the seller in my hands. What's my effective date? Monday. What if he signed it on Saturday? Doesn't matter. I received it in an email on Monday. Okay? So I get 14 days from then, right? Hey, because if you write 14 days and you don't get it back for 4, and then the lender done took 2, I lost 6. Okay? So now we're gonna ask for 14 days from effective date, right? I love writing stuff in acronyms. I'm so used to it. Right? So now let's talk about the earnest money. We said 10,000. Okay? Why is it important to give earnest money?
Show that you're serious.
Show that you're serious. Okay? Why else? There's one even more important reason. That some of your money, even if I only had, let's say I only had $7,000, right, of cash available to submit, right? Can I do 2,000 earnest money and 5,000 due diligence? Do something in earnest money. There's a reason. A really good listing agent will make sure you have earnest money. Why do you think that is? Nobody knows, right? I'm gonna get to it. When's my closing date? I want to be competitive. How do I find out when I can close? You're saying it, I can hear y'all. What is it? When can I close? Who do I talk to for closing? The lender. Who controls the closing? You think it's the attorney, you're crazy. Right? It's the lender. What if the lender said, James, I gotta have 30 days. I gotta have 30 days. I can't close no sooner than 30 days. But hey, my question is, well, you can guarantee me 30? Yeah, I can guarantee, if you give me 30 days, I can close Julianne's loan. Can I write 30 days? Because what buffer do I have already? 7, right? So let's say 30 days. 30 days, right? From when? From effective date, right? Because if I don't put that and I put a date in there, what happens? I lose days, right? So we're gonna have the same thing. Fed, I love it. Now we're gonna get back to this. Why is it important to have earnest money? A good listing agent wants earnest money. Because Julianne looked at this house. Julianne said, James, the foundation is ruined, man. The inspection came back. Hey, Lex over here, the seller says, I don't care. I ain't fixing nothing. It's as is. Take it or leave it. Julianne says, James, it's $50,000 to repair it. Okay. Julianne says, I'm backing out of contract. Julianne backs out of contract. But Julianne did not put any earnest money down. What is Julianne's incentive for terminating before this 30-day effective date? Mr. Seller is being an ass. He won't fix anything. He won't even negotiate.
And I don't have anything to lose, but
You're already losing $5,000.
Just sit on it and keep up the market.
Hey, I'm gonna hold him off the market until the last day. Is she in rights to do that? There's nothing he can do about it.
so it gives incentive to the buyer to terminate if they're going to anyway. by
Exactly,
the
right?
due diligence period.
Because if I have a number here, Julianne's probably gonna make her decision right here. Do we agree? Okay, the sellers want you to do that. A good listing agent is gonna hold you accountable for that. A bad listing agent lets that go, and then you got a stubborn seller who doesn't want to negotiate and help when there's significant changes. Now, if it's $1,000 change, I'd probably tell my seller too, don't fix it. She's already $5,000 invested. She gonna walk away from 5 to get 1,000? That's stupid. Okay, but if it's a $50,000 change, could we, as a good listing agent, hey dude, Lex, man, we gotta talk about this, brother. Because if you don't work with this buyer, we now have to disclose this, do we not? To every single buyer's agent. We're gonna bring it up here in a minute. I'm gonna show you something. So we need to negotiate. Hey, they want me to fix it all. It's 50 grand. Hey, James, can we make them a counter offer on that? Hey, what if I do 30 grand? Right? What if, because she can still move into the house right now, right? What if I give her $30,000, right, in allowance money? So Julianne went out and got a contractor that says, hey, I'll do it for 50 grand. Lex is willing to put down 30,000 of that and pay that contractor. Okay, the contractor is willing to work with you and finance the 20 grand. Now we could discuss it because James, I think 20 is too much. Okay. Hey, Lex, 20 is too much, man. Hey, James, let's try 35. Would you do 35? That's how it works. Okay. Because if he backs out and says, I don't care, she takes her or leave it, I ain't fixing nothing. I'm listening to you. What do I have to do?
Disclose all this facts.
I have to disclose all material facts to every upcoming buyer, correct? I also, by the regulation, had to advise, I can't make him, advise Lex to change the North Carolina property disclosure. I'm gonna show you, the latest one just came out last night, number one issue, agent didn't do it. Same thing. People get in trouble with it all the time. If I had my computer in here, I would love to show you my, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's on there.
Make an amended disclosure, like you.
No, do a new one. Do it. They don't amend nothing. Do a new one.
What are you saying is the problem that?
Foundation,
No,
major.
That you.
Number
you
one
get-
problem that everybody's getting in trouble for
Yeah.
is listing agents are getting inspection reports back. And the listing agent has two requirements. Two. One is they have to disclose all material facts to everybody making an offer before they go under contract. It even says it in the one that got in trouble. They told them why they were in due diligence. So they've already given money to the seller. You see my point? What's the second thing they have to do? Advise the seller to change the North Carolina property disclosure. If the seller doesn't want to change it, can you make him no? Can he still put no representation all day long? But if the commission calls you and says, hey, did you do this?
What does that advice look like? I advise
email?
you to change it?
An email.
to-
An email.
Just- Even though it's not gonna be in their best interest, you.
Hey,
still-
Marcus, hey, you see that inspection report that came through? I know you didn't want to fix nothing. They terminated the contract. Hey, I'm gonna send you an email shortly by the real estate commission. I have to advise you that you need to change the North Carolina property disclosure. Mark's gonna say, James, I ain't doing it. Okay. But do I have proof that I advised him to?
Not with that. I mean,
I sent him an email.
oh, I didn't see email.
Oh, I'll send him an email.
I'm telling him.
Cause I just told him, I'm sending you an email that says this.
Yes, yes.
I don't care, James, I ain't changing. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't make him. Right? Can I prove that I advised him to? Yes.
With the email.
All right. When Latasha's gonna send me an offer, how do I have to handle that? Latasha's gonna send me an offer. I can do it a few ways, right? Can I scan the offer in documents? Or not the offer, but the inspection report? That's what James would do. James ain't having no liability. I would scan the inspection report into the documents of the MLS. And then I would say, hey, Latasha, I know you just sent me an offer. Did you get a chance to see the documents? Is there an inspection report in there from a previous offer? Did you see that?
Yeah.
You did. So your buyer has full hey, if you don't mind, I'm gonna send you an email just to validate that.
Okay.
Okay? Why did I do that?
Get everything ready.
You dang right. So Latasha don't have mad buyers come back and she's like, what do we do? Well, James and me talked on the phone. He didn't send me no email. I can tell him he didn't show me. Okay. Now I could probably fight it because I could say it was scanned in before her offer was submitted. She had the ability to see it. Okay. And I'd probably win. What's it?
Before you finish up, I'm still like not.
What do you
quite
call?
Not getting the, okay, so like during the due diligence period, they find a $50,000 defect. And the buyer says, I don't want this house. I can't afford it. I need to get out. They get, so the reason they put that $10,000 earnest money in there that made, so why does the listing agent want that $10,000
Okay.
earnest money?
Okay. So let's run this scenario. So we found during this time frame, we're in this 14 days right now. Okay. Hey, it's a $50,000 repair. I went to Lex. Lex says, I don't care. I ain't fixing nothing. I'm not paying nothing. Take it or leave it. I'll put it back on the market. I'm gonna advise Lex. Hey, before we do this, brother, hey, every next buyer I have to disclose this to. It could hurt the potential seller. Lex still says, I don't care. I don't want it. Well, Julianne has to make a decision right now, don't she? Because if she makes her decision after 14 days, where's this money go? To Lex. So she has to make it during here. Has to make her decision. Hey, Julianne, hey, we're on the last day. What do you want to do? He won't fix anything. What do you want to do?
I'm pissed, so I want to ride it out.
I'm outta here. You're out, right?
I'm not gonna cancel this deal till the day before closing.
No. You got earnest money on the line now.
Oh, I have it on the line,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hey, so what do you want to do?
I don't wanna lose my 10,000, so we gotta let him know before this due diligence.
Hey, so I do a termination, I'm the buyer's agent, do a termination, Julianne signs it, I send it over to Andrew, the listing agent. Oh, we terminated the minute that I send it to him. The minute that I send it to him. I don't care if he read it or not. If I can prove my email with that attachment when at 4:59, did I meet the requirement? Don't do that.
Is that
Okay.
about 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock's cut off. Hey, anytime you see time of the essence, right, in real estate, when is that time? 5 p.m. Okay, so I send it over to Andrew before 5 p.m. the day of due diligence, last day of due diligence. We are now terminated. Do we agree? Who gets Earnest money back?
All of the earnest money back?
Who gets Earnest money back? The buyer does. Does she get all of it back? All of it. No, you're confusing the seller and the buyer. The buyer will always get all of the earnest money back. Okay? Now, you said, why is it important? Why does it matter if there's earnest money? Now we're going to run the same scenario with no earnest money. Julianne, we're still in due diligence. Hey, Julianne, Lex does not want to, he doesn't want to fix anything. You don't have no earnest money online. He don't want to fix nothing.
Now I'm pissed and I wanna go until the day before closing and let him know we wanna cancel, because I don't have anything in mind.
Wait, no, you already
I'm on
lost
due
it.
diligence, I'm
It's
already
gone.
losing
It's
it,
already lost
but
it
there's no
anyway, right?
earnest money, yeah.
So now Julianne has 30 days to send him a termination. He can't go active for that whole time period. Can she go ahead and make an offer on another house? Why not? She's already lost this 5,000. It's gone.
It is.
It's gone, right? We're out showing houses again.
She can buy as many houses as she wants at the same time.
As long as you got money.
Okay, so then the other scenario where the firm got half of it,
That's totally different. All right, we'll run that scenario real quick. Okay. So now there's $10,000.
That was a breach, correct?
No, it's not a breach. No. Don't get them confused now. All right, so now, Julianne, we did our inspections, right? We're out of the 14-day window. Okay. Julianne, we are 5 days away from closing. We're supposed to close in 5 days. Okay. Julianne got fired from her job, lost her job, has no income. The lender says, Julianne, I can't, we're done. We're done. What do you mean we're done? I can get another job. We're done. They can't work nothing out. Nothing. Lender's like, no, we're done. Julianne calls buyer's agent. Hey, what can we do? Hey, have you talked to your lender about maybe, hey, can you get a job and then we can submit it? How much time would he need past that? She's like, James, this is nothing. Can I talk to the lender? We go to the lenders. And the lenders say, no, there's no way we can close in a reasonable amount of time. Right? She doesn't have a job. We have to prove employment. We're not going to take the risk. She got fired. We don't know why she got fired. She told us, she had a conflict between her and the supervisor, and it was the supervisor's fault. Well, you're going to hear that story. So she has to terminate the contract, right? When she terminates, we already know the seller keeps this money. Who gets this 10,000? We terminated 5 days away from closing. We're out of due diligence.
Half.
How does this 10,000 get distributed? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Half goes to the seller and half goes to the seller's listing firm.
Yes,
The listing.
1,000% right. 5,000 of it goes to the seller, plus the due diligence. He already got it. And 5,000 goes to the listing firm. And then that gets distributed how? Y'all look at me going, why is that true, right?
Right, I was like, is that new?
Hey, it's not new. It's not new at all.
Oh, my gosh.
Pull up paragraph 11 of the
We were
exclusive
all
right.
surprised before you came in.
To
You were
sell.
selling it, I haven't,
Oh, I haven't done a listing
they
yet,
just,
that's probably
they just
why.
take their.
Huh? You take whatever split you're on with the firm. So if $5,000 comes to the firm and you're 100%, then you get all 5,000 of it as the agent. If you owe money to the firm, like a percentage, they take their percentage, you get the other. That's exactly how it's divided. Okay, now, what if this number was 50,000?
It's not the biggest.
hold on, at $50,000 in earnest money. And the listing agreement was at 6%. Paragraph 11 says what?
It's not actually see what the firm will receive for the sale.
Hey, does anybody have their computer up? Can bring up a listing agreement real quick? Exclusive right to sell listing agreement and go to paragraph 11. Yeah, he's got one right in front of him. Hey, you know this old book y'all got? The thing you're supposed to read.
Yeah.
Find the exclusive right to sell listing agreement, go to paragraph 11. Keep going, just middle of the pack. I want you to read paragraph 11,
Earnest money.
front to beginning.
All right, firm does or does not maintain a trust account to hold earnest money deposits.
We do not.
Any initial and additional earnest money deposits, any other earnest monies paid in connection with any transaction shall be held by an escrow agent named in the sales contract until the consummation or termination of the transaction. Any earnest money forfeited by reason of the buyer's default under a sales contract shall be divided equally between the firm and the seller. In no event shall the sum paid to the firm because of a buyer's default to be in excess of the fee that would have been due in the sale that close is contemplated in the sales contract.
Stop right there.
Okay.
What did that sentence, the very last sentence he said, mean? If the earnest money is more than the sum of the money the firm would have received from selling the property, the firm can only collect that amount of money. So if it's 6% of 300,000, that's what the listing agreement says. How much money does the seller owe the listing firm? 18,000, right? If earnest money was 50, how much money is the firm going to receive? 18,000. How much is the agent going to receive? Whatever their split is at that current time in the firm. If they're at 100%,
And the buyer gets the rest.
no, the buyer don't get nothing.
Seller.
This is if the buyer breaches or buyer terminates after the due diligence date and cannot complete the purchase.
And the seller is keeping.
So
The seller is going to keep
$32,000.
$32,000. Okay. Now, do you all see why that may be important in making the decision if the seller wanted to walk away? Let's back the scenario up. Here's the numbers. Okay. Hey, buyer's like, hey, I want you to fix all this stuff. He's like, no. Take it or leave it or walk. There's an incentive here
Because
for the dang, because if we go out of due diligence, right? Who's the money going back to?
seller.
Okay, but if the seller thinks he's getting 50 and he's only getting 25, could that make a difference in his decision? It's us as agents that have to explain to him, hey, by the way, the earnest money, you only get half of it. My firm gets the other half. Y'all see where it's important? Now,
Okay,
yes, sir.
so we discussed, and maybe when I stepped out of something, we discussed the earnest money, but I know in the due diligence, how you come to that decision, recommending what they put down as due diligence. But what about for earnest money?
Okay, so here's the thing about earnest money.
We had discussed.
First of all, when does earnest money come back to the buyer? When does he get it back? In two situations. What is the first one?
Closes or backs out.
Okay.
the period.
Okay, if he backs out in the due diligence period, does the buyer get the earnest money? Yes. Does he get all of it? Yes.
Yeah.
If he backs out after the due diligence, does he get the earnest money? No. If he purchases the house, does he get credited for the earnest money?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if he buys the house at 300 and he paid the attorney who's holding earnest money $50,000, he gets a credit on the closing disclosure for $50,000. Okay? Now, she stepped out, but hey, why do we want to be careful? You have to be careful of advising your clients to offer a lot of money in due diligence. Marcus here wants this house so bad. He's like, James, I don't care, man. Hey, I'll pay $55,000 in due diligence money. What are some risks? What are some major risks he's taking? I love it, man. James, it's a pretty new house. He writes the check. Where's the money go?
To the seller.
To the seller. Seller cashes the check,
And
spends it. Hey, seller can't pay the loan off because he owes more than the house is worth. And he done spent your $55,000. Now he can't close. Who's in breach? The seller. Do you think he's already in financial problems? Okay. He's like, you're like, hey, I want my money, guy. Like, okay, come get it.
So the only way to get it is go to court,
You go to court, right?
but it takes a long time and
Marcus ain't got it. He files bankruptcy.
it's not getting nothing.
Hey, you're gonna end up getting 10% of your 55,000. If that. And once you write that check to that seller, I'm gonna tell you right now, the only way you're gonna get that money back is if you buy that property. You better tell your buyer that. You can call it breach all you want to on a seller, but the only way to get the money back from the seller is take them to court. Attorney can only advise that seller. Remember, he's not representing the seller. Okay? Could he represent the buyer and say, oh, I'll put court action on him? He can. Who's going to pay for the court action up front? You are. Is he going to try to make the seller pay for the court cost and the attorney fees? He can, and he'll probably win. But how long is he going to go to do it? If that's his only, that's what that dude's got to say. Can we go buy another house now? No.
So what was, so he gave the 55,000 to the seller. What did you say happened to the seller to where, like, he spent the money?
Hey, he spent the money. He owes more on the house than what the house is worth.
Okay.
He ain't making enough to pay it off.
Oh, okay.
The attorney can't pay the home off, meaning the lender won't give him the release of the deed.
Gotcha. Okay.
We got a problem, don't we? Right? Be careful. Now, I will tell y'all know there is a transaction in our firm. I don't know if it's closed yet. $500,000 in due diligence. Now, $2.5 million home. But that's a statement, right? That's a huge risk. What if there's a title problem? What if there's a problem with the title to the property? Will the buyer maybe get their money back? Yeah, but for how long will it take if the seller's already spent the money? What if the seller's already bought another property and he don't have the liquidated cash to pay you back? What do you do then? You have to be careful of telling your buyers to put a lot of money down.
so would you recommend putting more money for Earnest money then? Or you're trying to be competitive, you're trying to show that.
You're trying to be competitive, right? First of all, you know you need some type of money for Earnest money, right? Okay. You can put as much as you want or as little as you want, right? The key is, what is the buyer comfortable with? What's another way not to have to pay all this money kind of upfront? Remember on the offer to purchase, you have due diligence number, you have earnest money. What's the next block?
Additional earnest money.
What?
Additional earnest money.
Additional earnest money. When should I pay additional earnest money? Let me help you out, buyers agents. If my due diligence date, and let's just say based off the offer to purchase execution date, my due diligence date was 10 December. That's my due diligence date for this 5,000. This is going to be additional earnest money. Okay. Y'all know it has to be immediate funds, right? It cannot be a personal check. Y'all know that, right? Immediate funds, meaning it has to be what document?
Money order?
They don't like money orders. I'm just telling y'all, right?
Cashier's check, wire.
A wire or cashier's check. Okay? So what date am I going to give up additional earnest money? Remember, we wrote our offer way back here. What date can I give additional earnest money? Would it be before the due diligence date? You're a buyer's agent. No. No. I'll tell you why. So if I make this date 11 December, Okay, I'm gonna run through both scenarios. If my additional earnest money, we're under contract. Me and Julianne are under contract. I got her as a buyer's agent, right? She is awesome, ready to go. This is the plan we have. We have additional earnest money due on 11 December. But between now and 10 December, hey, Lex over here, hey, buddy, you got a problem with your house, man. Will you do these repairs? No. Yes, no, back and forth, right? Julianne wants to back out. Where's the earnest money at? Right now, before the 10th, who has the earnest money in their pocket still? Julianne does. She hasn't written a check yet, right? Okay, she hasn't written a check yet. He won't do any repairs. Julianne says, I'm backing out. This check never happens, does it?
The additional one or the earnest money?
No, the additional earnest money check never gets written, does
The
it?
earnest money does at the beginning, right?
No, there's no earnest money. We didn't do earnest. We did due diligence, and now what we're doing is additional earnest money.
If we have it. The earnest money, when it's not additional, is written at the beginning, right? And then
You don't have to do anything, but a way to help your buyer not have to fork out a ton of cash right on that date is to say, hey, I'll give you $5,000 the day of execution of the contract, and I'll give you another $5,000, but on 11 December as additional earnest money.
Okay, you're saying this is a better way to do it for our buyer?
Better way to do it for a buyer.
Because
But he won't do any changes in the property. He won't fix nothing. She's willing to walk away. Has she written this check yet? No. So she still has possession of it, doesn't she? So she's like, James, we're done. Just terminate it. I'll eat that 5,000. That good luck. That guy has that inspection report. I hope that agent is smart enough to know they have to send all of that information to every agent. Okay. She never had to write that additional $5,000, did she?
So that's the feature of additional, is that it doesn't come till.
Let me tell
after.
you where it comes into play.
I was always wondering about that.
Okay. Now it's just earnest money. When do I have to have the earnest money to whoever's going to hold it?
I think 3 days, within 3 days.
No, it doesn't say 3 days. What's the contract say? You can check mark the block within 5 days. Okay, so within 5 days of the executed contract, she has to give a check, $5,000 some way or another, to the attorney, right? Okay. So this was given, sometime before this, right? So we already know the attorney has the money. Hey, Lex, you still gonna make any repairs yet, dude? Nope. Nope. Hey, Julianne, he's an ass. He won't do nothing. Do you want to back out? We gotta know today's the last day of due diligence.
In my situation is that I have earnest money.
You got earnest money at the attorney's office, and he's already got $5,000 of your dollars.
Oh,
And
okay.
today is the last day
And
of
it's a
due.
$50,000 repair that you won't do anything about?
Yes.
Well, then I gotta lose 5,000.
Okay, hey, we're terminated. Hey, we're terminated. We're done. Okay. What is on the termination? Does the seller have to sign it for the attorney to release the 5,000? It's still, the contract's terminated. No. Yes, you do.
Does the seller-
The only way the attorney can release earnest money is if both parties sign the document. If both parties won't sign the document, what does the attorney do with the money?
You will hold it.
He will hold it
And then he works.
and goes to the court after that. Then it's a claim again in court. Okay?
So Ernest making it real.
He's an ass, isn't he?
It's not good for your buyer, yeah.
Okay, he's an ass.
Mhm.
But do you see why we wrote additional earnest money the day after the due diligence date?
Mhm.
Because if he don't want to work with me, he ain't getting control of if that attorney can release the money or not. Be careful though. Okay, here's where you have to be careful. In additional earnest money. 11 December. What day is 11 December on? Somebody give me a date. Saturday. When does the attorney have to have possession of that earnest money now? By Saturday at 5. He don't work at 5. You don't work on Saturday. Now when he gotta have it? What day? Friday. If he doesn't get possession of the earnest money on time of the essence, does the seller have the right to terminate?
Wait, he doesn't what?
No.
Yes.
Alexander.
Yes.
If the seller, if the earnest money is not delivered by the contract, the seller can terminate. Yes, he can. Hey, if you don't get the due diligence, y'all know y'all can terminate a contract, right? My wife just sent an email to an agent today. Hey, you're not getting in the house? You got till close the day to hand me that check or we're terminating. Because I already got I got people begging to buy this house.
Got till closing date to what?
No, for due diligence, for due diligence.
The closing period. That's what you're talking about.
No,
Get the money.
No. So we just went on a contract,
yeah,
literally,
yeah.
not yesterday, the day before.
You gotta have the due diligence.
Yesterday, we still didn't have the due diligence to the sellers.
So what did
Because
you-
these people live in Florida and they want to wire the money.
Yeah,
Well, they want to go start scheduling inspections. And I said, no. You got till I call it COB, right? That's what the Army, right?
Oh, yeah.
Close the business today. You already know where I'm going. Hey, they call it COB, close the business today, 5 o'clock today. If not, we're terminating the contract. The seller can terminate the contract without producing due diligence. If the buyer didn't produce due diligence. That's why it's important though, right? Hey, you ran into this.
with my buyer.
Hey,
Wasn't
listen,
getting it done on time.
listen to a problem that a agent had. The buyer didn't respond to her,
Yeah,
but it's under contract.
yeah.
You're trying to say, hey, I need that due diligence check, Lex.
You don't know where they are, they're missing.
They won't answer you. They won't respond. They won't nothing.
Put it in
When
writing,
is
what's
the-
at stake?
Hey, when is the due diligence
At the time the contract is signed,
execution date?
yeah.
So if you sign the contract on 11 o'clock on today, do they have to have it today? Yes. Yes. Now, can you work out with something with the listing agent? If you do, please put it in text or email. Don't have it be a verbal conversation, because then it becomes he said, she said. Okay? So, hey, I just want to, I need to work out something. My sellers are in Florida. They need to wire, so we set all that up. Yesterday, they still didn't wire. I told my wife, send an email today. Close business today, it's on the market. Done. We're done. Terminating. No more. And now I got to tell a story on my wife. She's going to hate me. When do you have to put a contract from active to contingent or pending? When? When are you required?
3 days.
Huh?
24 hours.
You said 3 days, 24 hours. What if you don't have due diligence money yet? Still on the contract. What do you say? Huh?
You don't have the money?
You don't have due diligence yet. But when do you have to change it in MLS from active to pending or contingent?
But I don't have the money.
You don't have the money. Somebody tell me the rule.
You can.
Soon as the time.
Don't talk. I already gave you the answer. Okay? Lawrence,
What was your question?
you are a listing agent. Julianne, you're selling the property for Jennifer back there, who cannot talk right now because she knows the answer. Okay? You're the listing agent. I sent you the offer to purchase. You all signed it, send it back to me today. Okay? When do you have to change that listing from active to pending or contingent? When do you have to change the
When you
status?
get the due diligence check?
When you get the due diligence check. Somebody else got another answer?
24 hours.
24 hours. What's your answer?
After 5 o'clock. Of that day.
After 5 o'clock that day. Anybody else got an answer? The one person that's right is Lawrence.
24 hours.
MLS does not care if you have due diligence money.
Oh, that's why. you don't
Officially
get
by
it.
law, you're under contract.
I said 24 hours.
Okay. Hey, officially by law, you're under contract.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Has nothing to do with earnest money. Just so you know, the first offense is a warning. I can bring up an email. My wife got a warning. Hey, okay. Because a lot of agents do what you said. If you don't have that due diligence money, they don't change it.
And quick question that I've had on that, if you're the buyer's agent in that situation, are you in our command document supposed to upload, because there is a place for it, that PDF that says it is now pending? Or
Oh, yes, you are.
You
And
are.
I'm
you're the
glad you
buyer's
said
agent
this.
too?
Man, Julianne, you
I
just
did
make,
just to make,
you
just
make
to
me
make
happy.
sure, but.
Julianne makes me happy. I'm gonna tell you why. Hey, guys, this is really happening right now. Okay? trust me, listen to me, or don't, and you're gonna lose money. You go out and show a house. You looked at it on MLS. The listing agent has it at 2.4%. You submit an offer. From the time that you submitted an offer to the time that they signed it and sent the offer back to you in email, the listing agent changed the MLS to 2%.
When did they do it? Before you posted?
At the same time they sent you the offer.
That's my commission that they changed.
They changed the commission going to the buyer's agent to 2%.
At the same time they sent you back their acceptance of the offer?
Yeah.
And so you needed to have eyes on that to before you?
Well,
No, what do you?
You looked at it in the system, but guess what you didn't do?
Print it out.
You didn't print it out.
Well, I didn't do that. I just took a PDF after it was pending, so that would have been a lost thing. So at what time do you print it out, or do you?
I print during showing.
Okay, but we don't upload that anyway. That's just sort of for us to keep.
But as long as you got it printed, hey, I got something. Whoa.
Okay.
That agent went in there and did it. Can I file a complaint with the North Carolina Real Estate Commission?
No, I just do that anyway.
Go ahead, Bob Barker. Hold on.
Are you saying printed, so printed as?
I don't care if you print it to PDF and just save it in your computer. I don't care if you print it on a hard document and lay it on your
Have you
desk.
had that happen? Just curious. I just wouldn't. have
I'm just telling you,
suspected.
it is happening right now in this
Really?
firm.
Oh, no.
Not our agents,
Okay.
but our agents are the victim of this.
Goodness, I just never would have thought of that.
But you print that, you want to print that as you're submitting the offer or prior?
Oh, yeah, submit an offer. You should submit it because I know Latasha has submitted several offers. There's so much information you need off of it anyway. I don't care if you PDF it. You need the agent's name and email and phone number and firm license number and agent license number. I PDF mine, right? And then after time, you get rid of them, right? But if you don't save that document, and the next time you print it and you go in there, look at it, and it says 2%. Hey, agent, you changed this. No, I didn't. How you gonna prove them otherwise? Show me how you can prove it.
All the MLS, they should have.
I was gonna say-
They ain't even gonna talk to you. They ain't got time for you.
Is
I'm just telling you.
You're not putting the commission percentage in the offer to purchase?
No, it's never in there. Hey, and the other thing, guys, when you're making changes, does the agent ever, at any time, ever put their initials or name or signature on an offer to purchase?
No.
What about an agreement to amend? No. You are not part of the offer to purchase. In no place and time. What you need?
Oh, no, I just see like something falling.
Oh.
Like, what is this? That's funny.
So, does everybody understand when we're talking to our clients out there, where we can pull up some data to show our clients ahead of time? Hey, by the way, in the area you're looking at, the average listing price versus sold price is this number. Am I giving them a dollar amount to pay? No. When I'm talking about due diligence, does everybody understand how to explain it? Does everybody understand how to explain the risk to your client of what they're taking if they say, hey, Julianne, can I just put $100,000 down in due diligence? Can I do that?
Yeah.
I want to show them on the house.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
I would say you can do that, and I would not advise you to do that, and here's why.
Why?
Well, because that's a great risk to you unless you're really comfortable.
How's it a
losing.
risk to me?
Well, that 100,000 will not come back to you, no matter what you find during inspections. That's what you're
But
saying.
I want the house.
Yeah. So I would say that the biggest things that you could uncover would probably be structural. What if you did uncover structural damage, which was going to cost you an additional, blank amount of money? Are you still okay with it? I would just give them some worst case scenarios.
But it's a
Say,
pretty new
"You're
house.
Still okay with it? It does look that way. I'm not an inspector, so I can't tell. I don't know how much.
What are
you
some
see
items that can bring up that nobody can see right
The
now?
cloud of the title.
A bad title.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What if the seller owes more money than the house is worth and the lender won't sign off on the deed? Okay, what if he can't clear the title? Hey, and now they ain't paying for the house, right? Got a problem with the lender, done spent your $100,000. Now you gotta take it to court to get it back. And you may or may not get it back.
Because really that is a breach on their end.
Exactly,
But
but how do you get the money back?
yeah,
Right? Explain the risk, okay? Without telling the buyer. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret that I do, and not everybody does it. How many of y'all have Home Spotter?
No.
Not today.
Who doesn't have Home Spotter?
I don't.
The app?
I've like downloaded it and then I put it over, then I discarded it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something that works really well to help you and your client. Hey, so me and Latasha's my client. We're out in this house. Latasha's pushing on me to give her, hey, is the house worth it? Because I heard somebody say, I want to do a CMA. There is nobody in this room, to include me, that can tell you what an appraiser is going to save a house for. We are in an unprecedented time in real estate. Houses are being sold for numbers that are unprecedented. It doesn't even, I mean, come on, have y'all seen a house that and it appraised and you're going, how in the hell did that appraise?
I just went over that one we talked about.
My neighbor's house, we just pulled it up because I'm helping Lawrence do a thing today. My neighbor's house closed yesterday at 523. He bought it 3 years ago or 2 years ago for 333.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, there's no way I would have appraised that house at that number, but it appraised. So I'm going to go back to nobody in this room can tell somebody what a house is worth. Here's a great way to do it. Bring up Home Spotter. We're in a house. You know, you can go and filter while you're in the house, and I'm going to look for sold properties. And I just bring in the map, and it'll show me the people around me that sold properties. Hey, this house sold right down the street for this amount of money.
Mhm.
I'm just showing it to them live.
It's like the quickest CMA.
Right. And we can even factor based on what it says, how much per square foot. What's this house? What's this? Right? Without putting yourself in the jam. Without saying, hey, Lex, you need to offer, it's three, maybe you need to offer about 380 if you want. Lex offers 380. House appraises at 340. Right? That's mad at me. Right? Because now he's got to pay a gap. Seller's like, no, you offered 380. You offered freaking $20,000 in due diligence. You should take a walk. I'll list it again and keep your money. Lex mad at me. Okay? I didn't give Lex a 380 price. Trust me, James ain't doing it. James is going to bring up Home Spotter. James is going to open it up in front of him on the kitchen counter of the house he wants to make an offer in. And say, let's take a look at what's around us right now. I've already shared Home Spotter with every client I got. Because if you're not sharing it with them, guess what? Every time they look at a house in Home Spotter, whose information do they see? They never see the listing agent. So why not share it with them? Hey, Marcus, man. Hey, thanks for the Home Spotter app. Me and my wife found this awesome home on there. Hey, this is the address. When can we go see it? They don't know who the listing agent is. All they see is Marcus. Contact Marcus. Mark's like, shoot, yeah, James, let's go. I'll schedule it tomorrow. Share your Home Spotter app.
Are you registered there as the agent or is the?
They don't register as the agent, you do.
Yeah.
Right? And you need to explain, hey, I'll tell you what, I love showing them the app in the houses. Hey, and that's a lot of times I'll be using it. And they go, what are you looking at? Oh, it's a Home Spotter app. Hey, let me share it with you. You'll leave Zillow alone from this point on. You won't go to Zillow, you won't go to Trulia, you won't go to Realtor.com. You will only use Home Spotter. And all the information they ever see is yours. Okay? Now, a little bit of tidbit of information. Okay? What time is it? Okay, we're good. Hey, so when you sign a buyer's agent, okay, what do you tell your buyer's agent about going and looking at houses? Or what do you say to the buyer, I'm sorry, as the buyer's agent about them going to look at houses? I signed them under buyer's agency. Jennifer, we just signed buyer's agency. What information should I tell Jennifer about looking at houses?
It is
Come on.
legal to video while we're inside, but not audio, but they sometimes don't follow that rule. So let's just be mindful of what we say. That's one thing that like we won't probably talk negotiations in the house.
But what about, okay, I love that idea. I'm glad you said that. Just as, hey, in North Carolina, it is illegal to audio record. Okay, without everybody's party's knowledge of it. In Missouri, you can audio record with only one person in the conversation knowing about it. right? So I can prove that to you because I recorded a nurse that did a horrible thing with my mom in the hospital. And I got her ass in a bunch of trouble. Okay? So, but know the law before you do it. But I love that idea, but I'm looking for something else.
What are we telling them about?
About her going to look at homes.
Don't talk in the house.
Okay, she just said that. Don't talk in the house. Assume that they're audio recording. What else? There's something I'm looking for. What about her going to look at houses without you?
Well, I mean, if the only way they could do that really is if they're an open house, or if they were to contact the listing agent. I mean, they have to.
So they can contact the listing agent.
So
They can go to an open house. What other thing can they do?
Go to new construction.
Go to new construction.
Mhm.
And some new construction have a policy.
Hmm.
If the agent is not there on the first initial showing, they will not honor a commission. Now, let me tell you how to beat it. Because I'm smarter than they are. Because I had this happen to me. James, y'all weren't here when they walked in. Of course, I called my client, you know, what the hell are you thinking, right? I told you not to go to any construction. James, we just wanted to look. The guy showed us around. It's okay. Did you sign anything? We didn't sign nothing. We told him we have an agent. You didn't sign nothing. I didn't sign nothing, James. Okay. So I called the agent back. I said, hey, buddy. I said, hey, I'm going to send an email out. I just need your information to North Carolina Real Estate Commission. So when my buyers came through that they're signed under with another agent, they told me they didn't sign nothing. And they said that you never covered working with real estate agency with them. Hey, James, you know what? Hey, you go ahead and keep that. No problem. We'll pay you commission. I'm telling y'all how to beat it. If they go to new construction, you tell them, don't you sign nothing. Okay? Tell them not to go without you. But the biggest thing is, if they don't sign that, hey, when I told that agent I need his contact information, because I sent an email to her, that dude was all about, hey, James, no problem. Hey, I just need your firm's license number. This right here.
Because the
we'll put it in.
technicality you got him on is he didn't do working with real estate.
Yeah.
He didn't explain, it was
Right.
devious. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm just telling you a way to get out of it. I bet that cat don't do that again. Okay, I'm just telling you a way to beat it. Okay, because if he didn't cover working with real estate agency and they disclose what they're looking for, what they wanted, is he in the wrong? I'll win this battle with North Carolina Real Estate Commission all day long. Okay, he did not want to give me his contact information. All right, and they purchased through that. They purchased a new home, and I got paid. I'm just telling y'all a way to beat it, but you need to advise your clients in the beginning not to do that. Okay, don't go without me. I'll go with you. Okay, if you can't go, then you work it out one way or the other. Okay. But yes, sir.
For the new construction, I know they have the form that they're going to submit. Is there a standard one you can print out?
Okay, so y'all know there's a new construction offer to purchase. Most builders have their own. Do we all understand that? And they want to use theirs. Please read through it line by line. Please make sure they will skip over this shit. You know where they're skipping over now? That the builder has a right to raise the sale price. Okay? Some of them don't, some of them do, but you need to read it. Hey, before you sign that, Julianne, hey, I need you to read this line right here. In their contract, it says they get the right to raise the sale price up to 10%. Let's look at 10% of 300,000. Okay, that's $30,000. Can you afford that? Okay, so keep that in mind, right? Now, the new construction, if you haven't opened one and you have to do a new construction offer to purchase, there's some basic information you're going to need from that builder. I mean, I'm talking about the level of it in insulation in the walls, how thick they are. That you need to open that page. Again, you always hear me, I'll tell you, I'll read. Right? That's why you need to read. Okay. Most builders are doing their own new construction. Okay. Does everybody understand this? I want to share one other thing that I can help you all make your offer be
So
more.
before you raise that, James, are you saying that that's pretty much always as a buyer's agent, how you're advising to structure things is using additional? And
Yes.
you're not.
Well, it depends on what type of money your client has to offer out, right? Right? If my client has the money, then I probably don't talk about additional, right? Or if I think there may be something wrong with the property, like if it's a newer home and I don't think there's a problem, we probably don't talk too much about additional. But if I think there may be some issues with repairs, right? Or if it's a sight unseen offer, oh, we're doing additional. We're not doing just,
In those other cases, you would just do earnest and not additional, because you know that's gonna, to a selling listing agent, be more appealing.
so are a lot of houses being sold above appraisal price?
About 3.9% in Wayne County.
Okay. No, that's not appraisal price.
Shoot, you're right. That's just, that's list price.
So we're gonna use the same number, 300,000. How do we make an offer more advantageous to the actual seller? I'm gonna show you another way to do it. What is this guy paying in general? What is he probably gonna be paying in commission? Right? Do we agree? Most homes that are sold, gonna be about 6%. How much of that money now is he netting? What's his net number?
282.
So he's gonna net, and I got the other expenses, but 282, right? Okay, he wants the most for his house, doesn't he? But the more this number goes up, right? The more this number goes up. Do we agree? Well, it goes up, but the more he has to pay in commission. If this number goes up, what else does he have to pay that's higher? Tax, excise tax, right? So what if, right? I offered the guy 285 as a sale price. This is sale price. Okay, plus pay his commission of 6%. When's he making more money? If he gets a full price offer, or if he gets this? He makes way more money here. You know why? He makes more money, pays less taxes, less commission, plus what number does the house have to appraise? 285. He's got less worry about the house appraising and have to deal with the buyer, not be able to pay the difference. Because on the CD, it's going to be a sale price of 285, a debit to the buyer of the 6%, and a credit to the seller of 6%. We understand? Why can't you do that?
And just hope that their listing agent will still present it favorably to them because it's not on their good.
Yeah, but a smart seller sees that this number is better. How are you going to convince a seller as a listing agent, oh no, you need to take this 300. If you take 300, you're going to do all right. It's better, it's a better number. How? Yeah, but if you take 6%, I get 282, plus I paid excise tax on 300, plus you already told me you're worried about it not appraising. If I take this number, I get full 285. He's paying all my commission, and I only pay tax on 285, and it's only got appraised at 285. Why can't I do that?
So I'm curious, so like the commission of the 6%, which would have been, the 18,000, you did 300,000. Who's exactly, like, where is that coming from when he sells? Because is he listing it for 25 and it's selling for 25?
No, he's listing at 300. That's the sale price. All right. Me as the buyer's agent, I'm thinking, hey, Julianne wants this house. Hey, Julianne, I got a better way. We've lost a few houses. Right? He's already high on his number at 300. House been on the market for 25 days. He's claiming he's got another offer, right? How about we give him more than he's going to net? But we do it at a 285 price, plus you pay his commission. You said you had a little bit of money in, that you could pay down. Would you be willing to pay his commission, right? And pay 285. The house only got appraised at 285. He's going to net a higher number. You're more competitive.
So then now, so the buyer is basically saying, I'll give you 285 to you, who has a house.
Yep.
You're taking that, and I'm gonna pay for the entire commission.
He's gonna pay the 6% of the commission.
For the seller.
So it's gonna be a credit and debit on the CD, credit to the seller, because he still owes the 6% commission.
Yeah.
And debit to the buyer, who's gonna pay that number.
And then so if I was a buyer, so I'm basically paying my agent's commission.
Yeah.
Seller's agent commission.
And a seller's agent
And giving
commission,
them that.
and you're getting a house at 285, only got a price at 285 on sale price.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay?
So
See how it's more advantageous and it works on
Yeah.
both sides?
how do you write that in your offer?
Additional provisions addendum, because it has to be part of the offer. Okay? Y'all like this way?
Mhm.
It works.
Here, I'm gonna use it right now, actually. Some buyers that are texting me.
Hey, what questions do y'all have? What can I answer the questions y'all have? I got 10 minutes. Come on, I'm here for y'all. If y'all don't get good training out of this, I don't know what it is. Y'all got some good training today, right?
Oh, yeah.
Knowledge, right?
Can we just repeat and go over those points? Because that's exactly what the buyers ask, and I want to make sure I'm good on it.
Okay.
They're like, okay, so.
Here's the
what do we
number
offer?
one thing, right? Don't put yourself in an entrapment that you told a buyer they had to do something to get a property. Okay?
Mhm.
Don't put yourself, don't ever say, well, you have to pay 5% over. No, you do not. You can show them, hey, and based on the carry location that you're buying, hey, the average price is 5% above the list price. The average sale price is 5% above. Okay? Now you take that where you want to go, what you're willing to risk and what you're willing to, put on the line. But don't put yourself in that position. Show them some facts. You can print this. Show it to them. Okay? The buyers are not, okay, so go back 2 years. 2 years ago, nobody was offering crazy numbers over list price, right? In fact, I could come in and say, well, I'll give you list price, but I want 7,000 closing costs. And you're probably going to give it to me. It's changed now, right? So the number one rule, don't put yourself in a corner where you've told a buyer he has to do something. Number two, show them some facts. You can pull this by area. You can show them what sale prices are. You can show them by numbers, right? Number three, who said the most comfortable? Either you or Latasha, somebody, you, maybe John. Hey, what are you comfortable with? Hey guys, when you push on your client, you're going to lose them. If I tell my client what they have to do, you know what they're going to do? They're going to find Lex. Or they're going to find Jennifer. They're going to find Julianne. Be careful of that, right? Because you don't want to work with somebody like that either. Okay? So make sure they're comfortable with it. When they fail enough, they're going to listen to you. When you tell them, hey, look, based on this, and based on this, if we just use the data, the sale price needs to be between this and this. You understand? Well, Marcus, I'm not going to pay that, man. Write my offer for 300. Okay, write it. Write the next one. I've done this 8 times with the same person. And you know what happened? James, I love it. What I got to do? I don't care. Just tell me. Okay, let's look at the numbers. Let's show you what we got to do. Go between here and here. What are you willing to risk? They'll listen to you because you never forced them into anything. Because they're going to remember, hey, he showed me that's what it needed to be. He's shown me every single time. The other thing that's really cool to do, Julianne, you went out and showed me this house. It's been 2 months. We made an offer on it. You told me, hey, here's where you need to be. I didn't do that. I went less, but it's already closed. Send me where it closed at. Send me the close. Show me that it closed. Show me that it closed sometime. Okay? Show me that it closed $20,000 more than I offered. And you were telling me, look, remember this number right here? This 5%? I told you. Right? Then what are you validating? What you're telling them. Then they believe in you. Okay? Explain to them exactly what due diligence is. Explain to them exactly what earnest money is. How is it risked? Make sure they are in cahoots with you. I say cahoots, I don't know what other word to use, but you're both working against the lender. Right? They're pushing on the lender just like you are. Lenders aren't going to listen to agents. They don't. Unless they're Bart, he'll listen to me. Right? They won't listen to you, but they'll listen to the client. Make sure that the client knows that the day they go under offer to purchase, that they need to call the lender and do what? Pay for what?
Appraisal.
Pay for the appraisal. It's the number one thing that holds a contract up. Has anybody here had a problem with an appraisal coming back in time? What's the longest appraisal to get back? VA. VA. Do y'all know why? Because it takes a special lender qualification or appraiser of qualification to do it. The number of appraisers is smaller, right? So they don't get done fast enough. Okay. Now, what's the difference between the FHA VA appraisal compared to the other appraisals?
Safety. Safety.
Safety. Them appraisers have a requirement to point out any safety items about the property and alert the lender and require it to be repaired. You'll hear people say the seller's required to do it. No, he's not. Okay. I've had a VA appraisal where my buyer paid to have work done. You can do that. You can do anything you want to.
And after that's revealed by that appraisal, aren't they have to then share that? If that's shared with them, the selling side, then that becomes.
Yeah, but
material.
having it, okay, hold on, there's a difference
Because I
though.
thought there was a bit of
Having a
a
difference though, right?
reason they didn't like to have.
In a VA appraisal, if you have 3 steps or more, you have to have a railing. But that's not anything, that's not a fault against like that doesn't stop a property.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. No, there's something else. Isn't it like that appraisal sticks? Like certain.
No, FHA appraisal stays with a property for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say it's 4 months, right? In
And-
fact, it's a question on there that has this property had a FHA appraisal. The actual the listing agent asked the seller, and he has to answer that.
But so then if a conventional loan's to come in afterwards,
Makes no
they
difference.
have to take that
No,
FHA.
no,
Oh,
no.
Then what's-
If another FHA loan comes
only
in,
then.
they have to use the same FHA
Oh,
loan.
okay.
VA's different though. VA lender or VA appraisal can be one and another VA appraisal will be another. Okay. Hey, and guys, it is hard to get an appraiser to change their number. It is extremely hard. It can be done, but be smart, right? Who's more worried about the appraisal? Who's the most worried about the appraisal? The seller, right? So the listing agent should do what?
I don't think these days it's the seller that's most. worried.
Bull crap.
Why?
You can say that if you want to. I'm gonna tell you right now, every home I've sold right now that I'm worried about the appraisal, here's what I do. I leave in the house, on the counter, what I use to come up with the number I came with. Okay? Anything they did to upgrade that house, I put it in the house. I do. And every time I call the appraiser, hey, by the way, I left some information on the counter. Because the listing agent gets notified that the appraiser's coming. Hey, I left some information on the counter. I sold, y'all can look it up, 415 East Green Street in Franklinton. My investor bought it for $86,000. I sold it for $240,000. You think I wasn't worried about an appraisal? Okay. Here's what I did. I had my investor write everything they did on the house out, itemized. Hey, I mean, it was like 5 pages because I told him I didn't care if you bought a bolt. I want it put on there. Right? Hey, appraised just like that. I'm telling you, help yourself. Okay? Help yourself. Now, as a buyer's agent, do you want it to appraise?
Yeah.
You do, right?
Yeah.
But if you're fighting to raise the appraisal, who are you working for? You got to be careful of that because the buyer's going to look at you and go, what are you doing? It appraised at 333. I understand the sale price is 340, but you're trying to help them raise the price on me. Why don't we get them to lower the price? You see where I'm coming from? What are my options if it doesn't appraise? What are some options? What's first?
Negotiate down.
Negotiate. So it can be either way. Buyer can pay the difference, seller can pay the difference, or negotiate it. I'll pay half, you pay half, I'll pay this, you pay that, right? Or you walk. Is there any other options? Either negotiate it out or it doesn't happen. Do we agree? There's really no other options. Can the buyer pay a portion of it? You better ask the lender. Please ask the lender. Okay? Because the lender, based on their financing, their debt to income, they may have to have so much money in the bank. And if you're using that to pay the difference in the appraisal gap, they may not be able to do it. Make sure you ask. Okay? Before you start negotiating.
But that's interesting, because I just asked my buyers, well, how much could they pay? But I didn't ask the lender if they could pay that gap. So
What if the lender's requiring it? Okay? What does everybody look at? Debt to income ratio, right? See, this is what problem is. Buyers don't always tell you everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm qualified. I'm pre-qualified. I got this and this. What they're not telling you is the lender, hey, Latasha, the lender told you that, yeah, you're qualified, but you need to use 10,000 in your savings to pay the car off so you qualify for debt to income ratio. Are you good with that? I'm good. Hey, but now we need $11,000. There's only 10,000 left. Now we need $11,000 to pay the difference in the appraisal gap. But now you need closing cost money. I'm telling you all, you need to ask. Be best friends with the lenders. They will make you or break you. Okay? Did everybody get some good training out today? Is there any other questions? If y'all don't start coming to my training, you're hurting yourself. Okay? You're hurting yourself. I got some really good training going on. Hey, and our morning calls have been awesome. Because I've been given homework, right? I'll ask the question, and people the reason I do it is it makes you research, right? And you learn a lot more. Okay? No other questions? Thank you all for coming. I appreciate your time. Right? No problem.
Thanks a lot.
Do you have something right now?
Yeah, I have to go meet with the team leader. We'll finish. I gotta be with her for 30 minutes. I'll be done at 12:30. So let me just click this off. Hey, y'all should know how to get to here. Hey, everybody keeps asking me about, let me cover this real quick. Everybody keeps asking me about this right here, right? Hey, how do I know how to do a CMA? Where can I learn it? Anybody know? How do you complete a CMA? You click on this little help button. See this little help button right here? It's in, I promise you, you have it. Click on the help button. When it comes up, click on training videos. Yes, click on CMA. It's right here. It'll walk you through page by page and tell you exactly what you got to do. Okay? Please do that. Once you do that, reach out to me and I will show you what I do. I do use this system, line for line. In fact, me and Lawrence are working on it now. Okay? I use it, but I'll show you some tricks that I do that'll help you in your process. But if you don't at least know this, it's hard to teach the whole thing from beginning to end. Hey, if you want to use my office while I go visit with Julie, you're good. Okay? But I want y'all to know, go to this, learn the CMA. All right? Hey, before you leave, please do what he's doing and clear your whiteboard off and put it back there in the back. The eraser's right up here. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
James, is there any difference when you register the home spotter as the agent, or is it just the regular customer?
This ain't bad.
You want to register as the agent.
I just want to see any advantages.